Late good evening, my friends. Very late good evening. I'll talk to you just for a few minutes. The issue is a few questions. Why Nehru so easily allowed communist China to swallow Tibet, and also without resistance, how Nehru allowed some parts of our northern boundary to be swallowed by China. How Nehru refused to accept the offer given by USA in 1950, the offer of Security Council permanent member with veto power. That position, why he refused to take, and why he told for in favor of communist China. And in 1955, when again in USSR, the communist Russia offered the same thing, permanent seat in UNO Security Council with veto power. Why Nehru talked in favor of communist China? In all these situations, Nehru has neglected the interest of our country. In our interest of the country has been destroyed by Nehru. Why? He is the Prime Minister of this country. I'll come to that why. Before that, I'll tell something of the background. UNO was formed in 1945 when Second Great War was yet to come to end, and this was formed by the Allied forces. In this Allied force, the dominant forces were USA, USSR, UK, France, and China. Which China? Not the Communist China, but the Republic of China. Republic of China. Yes, Republic of China. ROC, which was founded by Sun Yat-sen, the father of modern China. That is ROC, Republic of China. And in that Security Council, in that UNO, there was a Security Council. That Security Council was composed of 15 members. Of this 15, 5 is permanent. There is a club of P5 with veto power. Other 10 is changing. They are elected by the general body of the UNO. Every period they are changed, but these 5 members called the club of P5, they are permanent members with veto power. And this veto power, these countries are USSR, that time, USA, China, that is which China? That is Republic of China, ROC, not Communist China. At that time, Communist China was not born. And France and England, they are the 5 members. And that time, from 1945, British India is the member of the UN, general member. On 47, when India was divided, this India, this truncated India, whose capital is New Delhi, acquired that membership, that British India membership of the UNO, naturally with all liabilities and responsibilities and obligations. Clear? Pakistan had to apply fresh new application for membership, and they got a new membership different. Similarly, when Pakistan was divided in 71, Bangladesh has to apply for new membership of the UNO. Clear? And that is in 1947 in UNO, this India, truncated India, is general member of the UNO. But China, that is Republic of China, whose capital in Beijing, is holding the membership, general membership of the UNO plus permanent membership in the Security Council with veto power. Clear? Now, you think in 47, though India was general member in Indian soil, British India has left so many ordnance factories, a trained army, skilled manpower to produce guns, weapons, all these things. But after partition, Nehru did not use all those ordnance factories. We did not develop our weapons. We gradually, in military, this India became weak. And the diplomatic front on the world, floor of the world, on the UNO, we are very weak. As general members, like other 200 countries. But China has got a higher position, though in China mainland, they had no modern weapon factory. All the development subsequently after 71. China for a long period has very weak army. Number is very high. In their army, People's Army and General are their army and People's Army. The number of soldiers very high. But quality of the soldiers and their weapons is very poor. That is clearly seen in 1978 in the Sino-Vietnam War front. Comparatively, we have our more trained soldiers and good weapons, but not the leadership. Leadership had got little knowledge about the defense and diplomacy. That's why you have suffered. Think, though in 47 we India has got a higher, better position than China, we lag behind. China moved forward. More forward after the Communist Revolution in 1949. What happened in 1949? Communists occupied Beijing, mainland of China, and threw away the government of Chiang Kai-shek. Chiang Kai-shek took shelter in Taiwan with his cabinet and family. Naturally, the government of ROC, Republic of China, went to Taiwan. And that Taiwan, small Taiwan, continued membership of the UNO, and Communist China was deprived of, had no membership from 1949 to 71. No membership of the UNO, not to speak of the post in the club of P5. Clear? But still, without being a member of the UNO, without a member of the Big Five, China swallowed Tibet. In 1950, they attacked Tibet on October 1950, completed the occupation of Tibet in May 1951, and Nehru remained silent. As per the international treaty, which was signed during between British India and Tibet, as per that treaty, Tibet, India, this British India, is to supply weapons and if needed army to help Tibet if it is attacked by the foreign countries. And naturally, after transfer of power, that obligation lies with this India, whose capital is New Delhi. As per natural law, we have inherited the British India membership of the UNO. We have inherited that. That is our obligation. But Nehru remained silent, did not do his duty, allowed silently China, Communist China, to occupy Tibet. At that time, America, UK, they wanted to help India because if some arms has to go to Tibet, that is via the land of China, India. That offer came. India did not like it. And Nehru did not raise any objection to that. At that time, Tibet, because USA came to conclusion that time, if Tibet is occupied today, one day China will be more mightier or will occupy other countries, other lands. That has to be neutralized. But India remained silent that time. And mysterious Nehru has some mysterious love for Communist China. Where is the mystery? And then he's attacked boundaries of India many times and took away part of Kashmir, that is Aksai Chin now, by China. Nehru raised no objection. And they are giving advices to this government today. It is Nehru. And in 1962, there is that clear war, Indo-China war. And by this time, 1959, Dalai Lama, in a mysterious way, left Lhasa and came to India. And the whole design was by the mystery man, the Lord Shiva, General Death, Mahakal. Nehru did not want Dalai Lama in India because presence of Dalai Lama in India will irritate China, Communist China. That Nehru did not want it. But Mahakal, General Death, brought Dalai Lama to India. Dalai Lama knew Nehru did not like him. Nehru has not done his duty in supplying weapons to Tibet in crisis. Nehru has breached the international treaty only to please Communist China. And again, where is the mystery of the secret love of Nehru for Communist China? Then you think in 1950, USA offered India a brilliant scope of permanent membership in the Security Council with veto power. Nehru declined to take it. He talked in favor of China, Communist China. Again in 1955, USSR, Communist Russia, offered India the same opportunity. Again, Nehru declined to take it. Again, it solicited for China, Communist China. Where is the mystery? This mysterious love for China, Communist China, which you are seeing even today, the Sonia and Rahul, mysterious relations with the Communist Party of China. Here is the mystery. Mystery is 1949, 1 year after coming back from the European tour, Sharad Bose in his newspaper, The Nation, gave a huge big headline, Subhash Chandra Bose in Red China. The date was October 7, 1949. He referred to a foreign European war correspondent, Lily Abeck, was a Swiss war correspondent who was born in Yokohama, Japan, only European lady war correspondent in the war front Southeast Asia. He told Bose is seen after the plane crash in Saigon. And many other reports to Sharad Bose, banking on which he gave this news headline. And also Sharad Bose wrote in that newspaper that government of India knows it. That means, and that is alarming to the Nehru. And to Nehru, always he was planning how to please communist China, so that this pleased communist China will kick out the mystery man, General Death or Lord Shiva, that living ghost, kick out or kill. It's the main purpose, main idea, main plan. And you have seen in Kashmir crisis what it did in halting our army to march further and to send letter to UNO. Kashmir issue was brought to UNO, and our diplomatic position internationally was weakened. The crisis is still there for the last 70 years. Nehru destroyed killed India's interest. Pleasing whom? For whom? Because Nehru, like to Gandhi and this dynasty, interest of the country is never the priority. Never the topmost priority. Never. To all these persons, either Gandhi or Nehru and his dynasty, always topmost priority is their personal interest and interest of the dynasty. Their main purpose to maintain their chair and interest of their dynasty. That's why the half of the Kashmir, the POC, is gifted to Pakistan, by which he has tried to please Jinnah and please UK, Mountbatten, all these persons, and preserve his power, his authority. And here also, by repeatedly appeasing communist China, either in 50, and then in 55, repeatedly by appeasing China and soliciting for China in the membership of the UNO and permanent membership in the P5 club, and without any reaction to repeated attacks of China and allowing China to swallow whole of the Tibet. The main aim is to tell China, kick out the mystery man from the land of China, don't help him, or to kill him. Simply. And you think India solicited for their membership in UNO. China got UNO membership in 71. That means from 49 to 71, the long period, the China post was practically remaining vacant, and one of the posts of the club of P5 remained vacant. At that time, in 50 and 55, It was very easy for us to get that post in the club of P5 with veto power. Now the position is very difficult. In China is very mighty now. Every time uses veto to all our positions, all our plans. And if we want to have our permanent seat in the UNO, there should be world crisis. In a world crisis, only a world crisis, another world crisis. Like you remember, crisis of World War One gave birth to League of Nations, the world body. And crisis of World War Two gave birth to UNO. Now there should be that crisis globally, which will compel to restructure this UNO or some other organizations where we will have our place, a mighty place. Because this big five with veto power, now particularly China, will not allow India to have a position there. Moreover, in the club of P5, there is no vacancy. It has to be escalated by the general body, and this is a big job. This is a big job. We have lost our opportunity, and that opportunities are destroyed by men like Nehru's or scoundrels. I hope I have been able to tell you something. Diplomacy in the world plane is very difficult. Very difficult. Shana is not easy. It's not easy. The same mystery man who helped communist revolution in China. What was his position? What was his aim at that time? His aim at that time was, because Chiang Kai-shek was a pro-American government. Pro-American government. He wanted to throw that pro-American, because pro-American government in Asia means American influence. He wanted Asia for Asians. He threw away. He did it not for his love for communism, but he used the communist force to throw away the American influence from Asia, the biggest, most populous country of the world. And you see, that very mystery man is helping Dalai Lama to come to India. And that is against the interest of the China, communist China. A big man has got a big diplomacy. It is not easy for us to fathom. And today another diplomatic activities are there in the world. Let us see what happens. But India today, our foreign policy, our diplomacy in a very good hand. Very good hand. I have told you in my whole, I am very conscious about this foreign policy and diplomacy of the country for about more than 45 years. In that period, I think, is the first Atal Bihari Vajpayee in 1977 to 79 when he was foreign minister. He is a good foreign minister. Now, PM Modi ji and is very, very, very apt, very skilled foreign minister. Jaishankar is very good. I think he is the best foreign minister. Must be in this background, backed by such a prime minister, such a courageous prime minister. And you see today in Papua New Guinea, I think their prime minister bowed down to our prime minister. It's time going to touch the feet of the Modi ji. Everything Modi ji is something today, and it is only the Indian diaspora outside India and the outsiders. They know what is Modi ji. They know what is the difference between the India 9 years back and India today. They know. And inside India, very few of us, we can differentiate the India of Nehru era, India of Indira era, India of Manmohan era, and now. It is different India. And 9 years is not sufficient to build a nation. It needs many decades, many decades. We must be patient. We must have got patience. We must sacrifice ourselves. We are not sacrificing. We want to get everything. We will get everything. All benefits, all doles. By doles and appeasement, no nation can rise. No nation can rise. People has to sacrifice. A clean foreign policy, diplomacy, a very courageous foreign policy, courageous diplomacy, a good industrial policy, agricultural policy, economic policy, very clean, transparent, and cooperation of the country, very active cooperation. Only electoral politics will not help us. Beyond election, we have got some duty, sacrifice, and sincere work for the nation. Jai Hind. Good evening, Shahana, Somrat Rai, ভালো আছেন? Yes. Let me stop here today. Thank you. I think I have covered the points. Hindi Chini Bhai Bhai has not helped us. Has not helped us. It was just for appeasement, for appeasing the China. Appeasing any country will not help us. Appeasing any section of people will not help us. We must be courageous, sacrificing. Good night, Jai Hind.